Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hello, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that lemon light city?
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org, where 200,000 shows have been watched. And it's actually more than that. YouTube, your clicker stopped, please. We need all those precious hits. We should have been like another 20,000 and long at this point. You can watch all the shows on YouTube, like I said. Even if the clicker isn't working, the thing works. Community policing, there are a lot of changes going on, and maybe we'll touch on that with our guest a little bit, some of the stuff that's been happening. There's a lot of changes going on within the neighborhood. Adjustments have been made due to the smaller community policing offices. Meeting times are being adjusted. I know 2431 in your neck of the woods just got they have a double meeting at 5 and at 7 now back at the station for those who can't make the 5. Because apparently the 5 o'clock meetings are bringing out businesses that never showed up before.
Yes,
so
they are.
The others that can't make the 5 are at the station at 7, combined with one of the other beats next door in your neighborhood. So I'll give Sergeant Christian some credit. She's trying to accommodate. Over here, too, the same thing. Where one of the ones with the 5 o'clock 2411, they want to have their own meeting at the regular time and days. That's fine. But, there are certain advantages when you have the meetings back to back to back. But it's still in the shaking out process. Over here, for instance, our September and October meetings in the 10 sector are all at Warren Park. So that way they don't have to run from one place to another, and they've got 10 minutes more for each meeting. Oh, and by the way, this is the Alderman of the 49th Ward, who now is also a major committee chairman. Congratulations. And that's
Thank you,
Moore.
Avi. Thank you very much for having me again.
First of all, my pleasure. And tell us about your new committeemanship.
Well, I'm a chairman of the City Council Committee on Human Relations. I was very honored to have my colleagues vote for my appointment. And I'm looking for, to do great things with that committee. It's a very important committee. Its jurisdiction includes the Commission on Human Relations that investigates allegations of discrimination in housing and employment in the city of Chicago. We also are charged with overseeing the Human Rights Ordinance and the Fair Housing Ordinance. And our jurisdiction also includes issues involving veterans. So it's a wide range of issues, and I look forward to having some important legislation considered out of that committee.
That's very cool. And this is what, your 6th term right now?
Yeah, I'm in my 6th term.
So you've got enough seniority to get a committee.
about time. I'm actually now.
By the way, I'm really surprised Mayor Daley never gave you one.
I'm now.
Just kidding.
I'm now 4th in seniority in the
Really?
city council. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess it was about time to have a committee chairmanship.
I think that's very cool. I'm very happy for you. And hopefully you're happy for the city. Hopefully you'll do a good job.
Well, I hope I will, and I anticipate I will. We're in the process of hiring staff for the committee, and I expect the committee will be. We've already had a hearing where we approved the mayor's appointment of Commissioner Noriega to head up the Commission on Human Relations, and she's a very fine lady with a long history of involvement in the pursuit of human rights, and I think she's going to do very well in that commission.
No, good luck, and we hope everything succeeds nicely. So you get a bigger office now, more staff?
I got the same office, but now I have a nice plaque outside my door that says Chairman on the Committee of Human Relations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We do have some additional staff, which I think will help enable me to continue to serve not only the citizens of the city of Chicago, but also, most importantly, from my vantage point, the residents of the 49th Ward.
No, very cool. Does that mean your office is a little more cramped now, or?
Well, we're going to have more folks at my ward service office, no question about it.
No, I was talking about downtown.
Oh,
'Cause those are
downtown?
smaller.
Yeah, well, the office downtown, one of my staff assistants will be there at least part of the time. But I still tend to be based out of my ward office because that's really where the most important work that I do takes place.
Yeah, and you're right by the Jarvis Cell Stop.
That's right. We're at 7356 North Greenview, which is at Jarvis and Greenview, just steps away from the Jarvis Cell. And my office has been there the entire time I've been alderman for the last 20 years.
Very cool, and I think it's nice that it's that strip over there. I almost stopped by the other day because I finally got off the yellow Jarvis, just to see exactly where it stopped on Jarvis. So, in any event, now, okay, one of the things you do that's really cool that actually, of course, made a nationwide thing, and I'm not talking about chopped liver, is the is the participatory budgeting.
Yes, we've been doing this innovative experiment in democratic governance, where we literally give the residents of my ward the power to decide how to spend a portion of their tax dollars. Every year, aldermen in the city of Chicago are given what is called menu money, $1.3 million to spend at their discretion on capital projects in a neighborhood, infrastructure projects like streets, alleys, sidewalks, street lights, and the like. And rather than make the decisions on my own, what I've done is instituted a process where the members of my community decide what projects will be considered and then place a list of those projects on an election ballot. And we have an election where people actually come out and vote, cast votes on how they would like to have their money spent. And you've indicated it's gotten a lot of nationwide attention, and it has.
It has, yeah.
And I've been asked to speak at places as diverse as Harvard University. I spoke there in April, Brown University, University of California at Berkeley,
Wow.
University of Wisconsin at Madison. I've also met with the members of the Madison City Council, top officials at the City of San Francisco. I was in New York a while back and met with some of the city council members there that are doing participatory budgeting now there. So we were the first, 49th Ward was the first jurisdiction in the United States to do this, and it's now spreading across the country. So I'm very proud of our ward and proud of the people in my ward who really banded together. It was a community-driven process. We provided support, but we really let the community members decide the process, decide how the election was going to be conducted, and ultimately it was the residents of my ward that decided how their tax dollars would be spent.
Which I think is really cool. So how did they vote? I mean, I do know, but let's tell people how, first of all, he's really good about emails and stuff and sending out information on a regular basis.
Yeah, and if anyone who's in the viewing audience, whether you live in my ward or not, wishes to receive emails from me, and we talk not just about ward issues, but also about citywide issues. And it's really, I get a lot of positive comments
I like
on
it
those.
very much. It definitely,
visit my ward
To me,
site.
that's actually transparency and openness, unlike the people who says I'm transparent and then they, have black opaque paint on.
Yeah. Well, visit my ward website, ward49.com, and right at the top of the homepage, you can sign up to get my electronic newsletter.
Which is a very cool thing. Oh, and a belated happy birthday from
thank you.
literally last Friday from when we're taping, isn't it? Or
It was on Friday, July 22nd.
yeah, because
So anyone out there who wants to send me any belated birthday gifts, go ahead. But just know that if it's over $50, I have to report it.
well, I just typed into Facebook, so
Okay. Well, I did appreciate your Facebook greeting.
and you got quite a few of them, which was cool. How many friends you got on Facebook now?
Oh gosh, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000. I haven't been keeping track.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to a certain number, listen, I'm at 454 and I'm blown away by that. And I almost know half the people who are my friends.
Yeah. Now that's real. That says a lot. And I wish I could honestly say that I know all 2,500 or so people that are befriended me on Facebook, but there might be one or two that I don't know personally.
So anyway, we started talking. So what was the final? First of all, explain the process a little bit and how you did it.
The way the process works is we have a committee of neighborhood residents. It's been going on 2 years now, so we're entering our third year. and we have what's called a leadership committee that sort of designs the process. And what they decided on was that we would get input from community residents. We had meetings in 8 different sections of the ward, and then we had a ward-wide meeting conducted in Spanish for our Spanish-speaking constituents. And out of those meetings, we recruited volunteers to serve as community representatives. They divided into 7 separate subject matter areas to consider various proposals that would be placed on the ballot. And it ranged everywhere from traditional things like blocks of resurfaced streets and sidewalks and alleys and streetlights to things that have been a little less traditional, like bike paths, dog park, showers at the Loyola Park bathrooms out there for
Bernard
people.
Garbo of 2424 was very happy about the dog park there,
Yes,
I know.
yeah. Artistic murals. In any event, all these proposals went on an election ballot, and every spring, the last 2 years, we've had people come to the Chicago Math and Science Academy, which is one of the high schools in my community, and they literally vote. They're given 7 votes, or 6 votes. It's past 10, and they decide how to, push. They vote for up to 6 projects that they would like to see implemented. We count up all the votes, and the projects that receive the most votes up to the point where we spend our $1.3 million allotment are then selected for the projects that will be implemented over the next few years.
Which is very cool. And what was like number 1 and number 2? What were some of the top things this year?
Well, this year we did something a little bit different, is we decided to give people a vote on what portion of the menu money should be devoted to street resurfacing.
Ah.
And the voters, basically, we gave them a range of choices from 0 to 100%, and everyone voted, and it turned out to be a little bit over 50%. So right away, half of the menu allocation is going to be allocated to resurfacing our streets, which are beginning to show their age. And then the other half was devoted to a new playground at Toohey Park. That received a lot of votes. Paths along the lakefront, improved walking paths along our lakefront at Loyola Park. Sidewalks was another popular item, repairing sidewalks. So it was a range, again, of traditional and non-traditional choices.
No, it sounds great. And you have to get a lot of people participating in that, too.
We do. We our first year we had about 1,600 folks participating.
Wow.
This year we had a slight drop off, but we still had over 1,000 people come out to vote.
So there's that many people that are directly involved in the process, which I think is really cool.
It really is. And at a time when people feel very distant and disengaged from government, when they feel that they're not being listened to, in the 49th Ward, not only have we listened to them, but we've actually given them the power to make real decisions.
I'll tell you, from my standpoint, what am I about? I'm just a few blocks away. But frankly, I wish the remap, I'd get swallowed into the 49th. I definitely prefer your form of government. There's no question about it.
Well, the people in my ward really demand it. They want open government, they want transparent government, and they want to participate. What better way to get them to, what better way to restore trust in government than to give people the power to make decisions in an open and transparent and fair manner.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one thing, you also, if people get on Facebook, they also get all the invitations and stuff from you and all that.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure this was yours. I know it's a 49th Ward deal, but whether it's yours specifically. But it's just kind of funny because being an Orthodox Jew, I got invited to a whole pig roast on a Saturday. I hope you don't mind if I declined.
Well, by the time the shows air, the pig roast will have been conducted, but there are vegetarian and fish options available for those who do not want to have pork as part of their diet. So we want to make sure we welcome everybody.
I am a very enthusiastic guy, and there's certain things I do like to go whole hog on.
I see, yeah. Well, you'll have the whole hog here, but you also have fish items and vegetarian items and salad.
Well, a
as
lot
well
healthier.
as
So it's
available.
good. I would, you know what? Now that I think about it, especially in your ward, you've got to have those options.
Of course.
Because,
we want everyone to feel welcome, and we've got such a huge, diverse population of people from all religious faiths, all backgrounds, all walks of life. That you have to be sensitive to those things.
No, absolutely, positively, and you definitely are. You definitely have a very eclectic group.
Well, we do, and the face of the 49th Ward will be the face of the nation in the next 50 years. We're becoming a more diverse nation. We're becoming a nation that's home to people from different religious beliefs and different backgrounds. And if we're to survive as a nation, we're going to have to learn how to not only tolerate our differences, but celebrate our differences. And while we're not, don't always gather around and sing Kumbaya on the 49th Ward, we generally get along pretty well. And I think what our grand experiment, not only in participatory government, but in living together as a community with diverse backgrounds, people who live together, work together, play together, break bread together, is that it's that kind of model that has turned out to be very successful, and that should be emulated in cities and towns across the United States.
And the one thing that I would like to see emulated, well, actually, this is on a different subject, speaking of kosher and pig, you also got by far the best kosher butcher shop in Chicago.
Yes, we do.
And the salami is the salami and the hot dogs are argued on national forums, and even New Yorkers will admit that it's superior to their product.
Well, why don't you give them a plug?
Oh, Romanian kosher.
Romanian kosher
And,
on Clark, just north of Toohey.
That's correct. And as a matter of fact, in the break, Sonny had a Romanian salami sandwich, which after we finish the shoot today, I will have one myself. So it's definitely health food and very good for you.
Yeah.
And actually, by the way, people would really be surprised. Basically a 2-ounce hot dog there only has 120 calories. So, and it's really good. I mean, they're not as fatty as other meats. And
well, that's good to know, because as someone who has embarked on a diet and am in the process of losing weight, I've lost 18 pounds so far.
Oh, nice.
And it's nice to know that there's some low-calorie hot dogs out there.
Well, actually, those are the regular hot dogs, and they're good. And interestingly enough, too, because Sonny and I actually were there in the 90s, and we did a tour in the back and saw how they made things. They don't use innards, lips, other orifices in their sausage products. The hot dogs basically are brisket trimmings. The leftovers from the brisket are what's in the hot dogs.
Well,
so it's a healthier brand of meats.
And the Romanian bakery, kosher bakery, is just one of the example of the great amount of diverse stores and businesses and restaurants in my community.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things we're doing to highlight them is we do a regular Follow Me on Friday,
right,
where we feature a different restaurant or bar or business, and we on Fridays from 5 to 7, kind of the happy hour time, we invite people to join us for a drink and some food appetizers that the restaurant is known for, and it's an opportunity to meet with me on an informal basis, to chat about issues in the ward, or just simply to have a relaxing time and get to find out a little bit more about one of the fine restaurants in the 49th Ward. It's a cheap and convenient way to get the word out about all the fine establishments in the community, to help encourage people to spend their dollars locally.
One of the things, because I do get your regular emails, I didn't realize how many restaurants you have, because I don't think you've hit one twice yet.
We have not yet hit one twice, and we've been doing this over a year now.
Wow.
And I think you hit the nail on the head, exactly why we do this, because people don't really realize all the different choices they have. I think oftentimes people in my community, when they think about going out to eat, they think of going to Evanston or down to Lincoln Park or downtown, when there are many fine, inexpensive, but very fine quality restaurants that are located just steps away from their front door. And Follow Me on Friday helps them become aware of those places. And I think it's really served to help the businesses that have been open in my neighborhood, and as well as the businesses that have been in my neighborhood for generations. We were just at another place, the Fish Keg, up on Howard Street
my buddy
a while
Craig
ago.
loves that place.
And that's been in the neighborhood for 61 years. And we promoted that, and then a few weeks earlier, we were at a Haitian restaurant over that just opened up recently over on Howard Street, and promoted their fine establishment. So it's it's a really wonderful experience, and you don't have to live in the 49th Ward to participate and follow me on Friday. Just visit my Facebook. I'm on as Joe Moore 49, and you'll get the latest notice of the next Follow Me on Friday.
Very cool. How is the farmers market doing this year?
Farmers market is doing great. We've got a farmers market that opened up. We started it a year ago on Morse on Glenwood between Morse and Lunt, right along the L tracks there. It is the city's only market that deals exclusively with farmers who engage in either organic or sustainable farming practices. That's one of the requirements of participating in the market. They have to be farmers within a 250-mile radius of Chicago, really of Rogers Park. So we want to have local food. The whole point is buying local food, supporting family farms, and supporting good farming practices that provide really healthy food. And for those people, and it's open to everybody. It's one of the great things about the farmers market. It's, organic food, farmers market produce tends sometimes to be a little bit pricier than what you would find in a supermarket. So we have what's called a Market for All program, so that people from low-income households can use their link card to
cool.
purchase food there. And we also provide a $10 subsidy for folks who use the link card, so they get $10 off on their food items. So
Wait,
it's a
you
way
can't
of,
buy like $11 worth and get $10 off.
well, you can actually.
Really?
Yeah, if you have a link card. And the way you do it is to encourage people from all economic backgrounds to eat better and to help support our local farms.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was going to tell this joke earlier today, and I don't mean it just for you, but people ask me sometimes, how do I prepare for a show when I'm talking to all these different political people, and they're such diverse people? Well, as you know, I've got a nice vegetable garden out back, and I finally got it set up. This year was so weird. Like, we're filming on July 27th, and I finally got the thing set up the way I wanted. And basically what I did, and it helped me prepare for the show too, but not for you, is I spread 120 pounds of organic manure in my garden. And you know what? You can really grow things with it. I mean, I'm not a full-scale farmer. I've got about 150 square feet. But you know what? It's so easy to do that. I mean, people, you know what? That's another thing. I'm glad the segue I really wanted to lead to was the fact that you're actually talking about having a farm.
Well, yeah, we are looking seriously.
Which, by the way, is I'm all in favor of.
We're looking seriously at the property located at Howard and Ashland. It used to be occupied by the Lerner newspaper business. They moved out of the neighborhood 20 years ago. And there have been different development proposals that have come and gone, but nothing ever really came to fruition. The property is blighted. It really needs to be developed. And a group called Rogers Park Farms, people who are committed to bringing urban farming to our neighborhood, shared with me their desire to do something there, and I thought this was a great idea. So right now we are having the city engage in discussions with the bank that now owns the property. The previous owner is being foreclosed on. And the idea would be to use some of the remaining dollars in the Howard Paulina TIF to purchase the property.
Wow.
And then working with one of our neighborhood not-for-profits, developed a urban farm where we can train people in the neighborhood on urban farming techniques and on business practices, and grow some food that would then be sold to people in the area.
There actually is stuff like that going on the south and west sides.
Well, there is, and in fact, Mayor Emanuel just introduced an ordinance in July on a new zoning for urban farms to take into account the fact that this is a growing phenomenon in all parts of the city of Chicago, and that at a time when fuel prices are going up, when it's more costly to transport food and therefore making food more expensive, it's incumbent upon us to do what we can to become self-sufficient and sustainable within our neighborhoods. And so I applaud Mayor Emanuel for putting into place a series of recommended changes to the zoning code that will allow my community and other communities across the city to do this urban farming.
I think that's very cool, and I think it's great. I just wish I could get that on my property for my 150 square feet. Basically, I do grow my own salads, so Mayor, give me a break here.
And in addition to the urban farm, one of the projects that was approved by the voters in our participatory budgeting process was a community garden in Dubkin Park, which is a little park play lot located on Ashland Avenue just north of Fargo, right along the CTA tracks there. And right now, as we speak, the garden is being constructed. They're doing raised bed garden patches, and they'll begin to prepare the land for a spring planting. So we'll have some fresh produce and gardens made, produced by people in the neighborhood at that community garden.
That's great. I mean, I'm not going to completely knock something like Miracle Grow, not that I've used any this year, but there's such a feeling of accomplishment when you can grow your own stuff. It's so much healthier. It hasn't been sprayed with anything.
Right, right.
It's
healthier, it's safer, and you know what? And it is.
It's actually the
food.
way God intended things.
Right. and back in the day, people got their food locally. They didn't, transport food from South America or from the far West Coast. It was grown locally.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that's a healthy practice. It certainly is better for our environment. The amount of fossil fuel that is burned and the carbon dioxide that's emitted in the air from the trucks and the train engines that are used to transport the food for thousands and thousands of miles. Why not grow some of that food in your own backyard? Why not grow it down the street? Why not grow it in your neighborhood?
And it's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have trouble with bell peppers, but the hot peppers grow real nice. Actually, both my parents were born in Lithuania, and my mother's father had raised chickens, and he had a chicken store even here, and he grew his own. People grew their own stuff too over there, and I think people used to do it in this country too. If you had land and all the rest of it, it's very available. 60-second warning.
Yes. Okay.
If people want to contact you,
they can reach me through my website, ward49.com, or email my office at ward49@cityofchicago.org, or if you want to use the old-fashioned telephone, the number there is 773-338-5796. Again, 773-338-5796. And if it's an issue, we'll talk to you about it. If you have a city service concern, whatever it is, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll try to take care of your issue.
Yeah, I want to say hi to your wife, Barbara, too, who's entering the political forum.
Yes, my wife, Barbara, is seriously considering a run for Water Reclamation District. She is just a superior candidate. I know I might be considered to be biased, but I know you've had her on the show before, and I hope you'll have her on in the future, and we'll let the viewers decide for themselves. But I think she'd be a great in a position in a very important office here in Cook County. And
I've also told you face-to-face during interviews on TV that people can watch on YouTube that she's definitely a major addition to the 49th Ward and has done a really good job. She is one of the people responsible for the farmers market that has become so successful. Very much so. We are out of time. I want to thank you very much. Alderman Joe Moore, 49th Ward and new committee chairman in City Hall. Thanks. Thanks, Sonny. Bye-bye.